Hi guys, I want to talk to you about the reading I did last night about the Flash and just clarify some things. Also, I'm sort of shuffling. I might pull some cards. And I read your comments, and I just want to say that first and foremost, I do not want you to be afraid. That is very important to me. And that, I feel like my guides are emphasizing that very strongly in me to make sure you guys know it's not something to be afraid of. And the only people who try to make people afraid, well, the main people when it comes to something like this are religion. They try to make it sound like some people are going to be cast aside. Some people are going to be, saved and all that kind of, that's not, they've said over and over again. And I mentioned it in other times I've talked about the Flash. That is not what it is. That's not what it is at all. Matter of fact, it's a gift, and it's for every single person, every single soul on planet Earth. And according to my guides, this is the first time they've ever done a planet-wide thing like this. There's been regional, wipeouts or regional upgrades to people because something happened. But this is the first time they're ever doing a planet-wide reset. And so in my digging through and asking more questions, I'm not going to read the transcripts right now. I probably will in a future video, but I really went a little bit deeper last night and this morning to try to really clarify what is it. What I finally came down to is I think it's going to be a couple different things happening at the same time, which is why I'm getting like this mixed information. I think there is going to be some type of maybe like a comet or something that comes from outside. And I haven't looked into that exact comment that someone's asked me to look into. I need to look into that one. But just talking with my guides about the Flash, I do believe there's going to be something coming into the Earth's atmosphere. And I think the way it comes in disrupts our electromagnetic field or something. There's something disrupted that might involve our grids going down for just a second. Like not years, not months even, but maybe like a week, or maybe something like that. So just be thinking in yourself, do you have like what you need for a week? You should have it anyways, because in the rolling blackouts in California, that's one thing I learned, make sure you have stuff that has nothing to do with needing a refrigerator or a freezer. So dried goods, maybe like a camping stove, I don't know, solar charging things for your phone. It's not like Armageddon. It's not that. And that's why I really want to emphasize, don't be afraid, okay? And the reason why I can come from a place of like really not afraid, I'm not saying I don't experience moments of like, oh shit, what is that? But like in general, I'm really not afraid because what I faced in the last 14 years, so many times I faced my own demise and like just realizing that we're okay. We're being held by something and everything's going to be okay. We're spirits having a human experience. And so whatever happens to our human bodies or anything like that will be okay. All of this is the source of all things is love. And I personally look at things like we're here to experience things in the third, in this dimension. We're here to bring love and infuse love and the universe, the language of love, or the language of the universe, which is love, infuse that into the 3D, the third dimension. And anyways, I could go on a whole tangent and I'm not going to go down there yet. But my point is that whatever happens, it's not something to be afraid of. And I would never want to put anything out that would make anyone afraid. So please know when I'm talking about this, I don't get any, and I scanned it a million times, up, down, center, left, right. I don't get anything that it's like scary like that, okay? And I would tell you if it were, but it's not. I've asked every kind of question. I've meditated on this. I've done the pendulum. I've done my cards. I've done everything. And it's all saying same thing, that there is something going to be happening, not that far off, but it's really going to unite the world. And I do believe that. So I've also been asked, well, what about ET, what do you call that? Coming out, saying that they're there. What do you call that? Oh my God, what is wrong with me tonight? Disclosure. Yes, I believe that during this thing, maybe, this is sort of the image I have in my mind, and I don't know if I'm right. You probably have a good image too. So what do you think it is? Leave it in the comments. I love reading your comments because you guys are like filling in so many things for me and confirming things that I have felt too. And other psychics are talking about this too now. They're starting to talk about, well, they're not just starting. They've been, I guess, for a while, but I'm starting to see them talking about some type of fire in the sky or like a flash or some kind of thing happening. So what I think is, maybe, let's just say maybe a comet comes into our atmosphere, comes into our planet, and it, it breaks apart as it's coming in, but maybe there's too big of a piece that comes in, and maybe the ETs that are actually already here, and they've been here for a long time, they're cloaked, we can't see them, but they're always here, they're always helping us, they're benevolent, they're not here for harm. They kind of maybe become visible for a second because they need to take care of it and help us, either redirect it so it goes into the ocean, or blast it so it gets smaller, so maybe there's smaller pieces, something like that. I don't know, I'm not saying this is fact, I'm just saying this is the energy I get, it's the vibes. So it's some type of thing like that. They help, so in that we now realize, oh, they are there, and there they are. That could be two birds with one stone, literal stone, not literal bird, thank God. And then after the physical part of it is the flash essence, which he said, the guide said something, some people are going to see an actual light. Some people are going to see the sky making weird, like having weird colors, almost like auroras, but bigger and everywhere. And some people might just get scared because it's so otherworldly feeling, and it's scary, like when you see something weird. But have you noticed when you're in something that's scary, you're actually surprisingly calm? Have you ever noticed that? Like something that you would normally be really scared of, if you've gone through it, when you go through it, even a car accident. I mean, I've been in a very bad car accident, and it felt like it was slow motion and I was completely calm. It's only after that you freak out, or before thinking about it you freak out. But actually the thing happening isn't that scary. Some part of you kicks in and you're totally calm, and you're like, so I kind of think that will happen. Like I think some people will be like, what is this? Oh my God, what is this? And so it'll be like that kind of thing. And then the grid, which we don't realize how much we're dependent on, electric grid, the internet grids, the satellites. But if something comes in and disrupts that electromagnetic kind of thing, it will affect the way we all live our lives, like the internet and the electricity and just things like that. And a lot of things are now dependent upon computers, like water is now controlled by computers, which is controlled by satellites, which is controlled by electric grids. So see what I'm saying? It's all kind of connected. So I do think something will happen that will disrupt things for a little bit. The more undeveloped the area, they will probably experience it harder, but not really, because they're already kind of used to not being so dependent on the grid. So in that way, it'll kind of balance out. But anyways, so I feel like maybe Comet comes in, maybe ET reveals themselves, does something to make the comet thing smaller and or redirect it into the ocean or unpopulated areas. That does create some type of situation, because if a comet lands in the ocean, that will create some type of, waves, tidal, some type of thing, tsunami, whatever. So coastal places. But I think that we'll be given this. Another person told me this, and I don't know if she wants me to tell anybody, but she said that she thinks that it'll be like that type of thing, but that the people in the coastal areas will be given enough warning to evacuate temporarily. So I think that as soon as she said that, I was like, that rings true with me 100%. So yeah, and I think that people will be given warning to leave if they need to or whatever, to be safe. And we've been through so much at this point. It's 2025, almost, September 2020. We've been through so much, you guys. We'll be fine. I promise you, we're going to be fine. Please don't be afraid. This may not even happen. So that's the other thing. So why even worry about it? But for people who need to hear things ahead of time, or maybe you just want to prepare yourself mentally or physically or whatever, however you want to do that, that's what I want to tell you. And then the flash is a download of information of remembering our source, remembering who we are, remembering that we are love and that we are spirits having a human experience. It's going to be a new time on this planet where we live in the way of knowing our true essence, our true origin. And that is the time of the rise of the sun councils. It's going to be an exciting time to be alive. We're here at the best possible time. And I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that I'm here. And let's just lean into it and embrace it, because we're awesome that we're even here, right? So leave your comments of what you think everything is. And I look forward to reading your comments. All right.